Welcome back to our History channel. Today we're going to talk about one of the most significant events in history, the Battle of Waterloo. We'll be discussing the truth about the dead and what really happened on that fateful day. So, grab your popcorn, sit back, and let's dive into it. The Battle of Waterloo was fought on June 18, 1815, near Waterloo in present-day Belgium. The battle was fought between the French army, led by Napoleon Bonaparte, and the Allied forces, consisting of British, Dutch, and German soldiers, led by the Duke of Wellington. The battle was a turning point in European history, as it marked the final defeat of Napoleon and the end of his reign as Emperor of France. But what happened on that day and how many people died? That's what we're here to find out. According to historians, the battle was a brutal and bloody affair. It lasted for more than 10 hours and resulted in the death of over 50,000 people. But how accurate is this number? Let's take a closer look. First, we need to understand that the Battle of Waterloo was not just fought on one day. It was the culmination of a series of battles that began on June 15, when the French army crossed the border into present-day Belgium. The fighting continued for several days, with the most significant battle taking place on June 18. During the battle, the French army suffered heavy losses, with estimates ranging from 24,000 to 30,000 casualties. The Allied forces, on the other hand, suffered much fewer casualties, with estimates ranging from 15,000 to 25,000. So, where did the number of 50,000 deaths come from? It turns out that this number includes not only the soldiers who died on the battlefield but also the civilians who were caught in the crossfire. The battle was fought in the midst of a rural area, with several villages and towns nearby. Many of the civilians were unable to flee the area and were caught in the middle of the fighting. As a result, thousands of civilians were killed, adding to the overall death toll. In addition to the civilians, there were also many wounded soldiers who later died from their injuries. This is another factor that contributed to the high number of deaths. So, while the number of 50,000 deaths may be accurate, it's important to understand that not all of those deaths were directly related to the battle. Many of the deaths were due to the circumstances surrounding the battle, such as the civilians caught in the crossfire. Despite the high number of casualties, the Battle of Waterloo was a significant turning point in European history. It marked the end of Napoleon's reign and the beginning of a new era of peace in Europe. The battle also helped to establish the British Army as one of the most formidable forces in the world. In conclusion, the Battle of Waterloo was a brutal and bloody affair that resulted in the death of thousands of people. While the number of deaths may be accurate, it's important to understand the context surrounding the battle and the circumstances that contributed to the high number of casualties. Thank you for tuning into our History channel. Join us next time for another exciting chapter in world history.